All right, to solve algebraic equations, use inverse operations or opposites of what is already being done to both sides of the equation. Each time you solve an equation, ask yourself 3 questions. What is the variable? And variables we talked about when we did our expressions, remember? A letter that represents a number, okay? How can I isolate the variable or get the variable alone? So that's your second question. And always check your solution. And I'm going to make that mandatory that you check it to prove that your answer is correct. Okay? All right, let's go to the right. We have some examples. So if h plus 3 equals 17, the first thing that we do when we solve an equation is we're going to draw a line down our equal sign. That's like our fulcrum on our teeter-totter, that center that keeps everything balanced, okay? All right, so I asked myself, I need to keep this variable over here, so my variable is h, okay? So I want to keep that over here. So I want to do something to this positive 3. So the inverse of positive 3 is negative 3. So I'm going to do that to both sides. Remember, everything I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So 3 plus a negative 3 gives me 0. So those are no longer there. I'm going to bring my h down, my equal sign, and 17 minus 3 is 14. So h equals 14. But like I said, we got to check our solution. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute 14 for h. So I'm going to do 14 plus 3 equals 17. 14 plus 3 is 17. 17 equals 17. So I know that my solution is correct. All right, let's move on. All right, so now I'm going to identify my variable, which is s. I want to isolate s. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is draw my line. Okay, so I'm going to isolate s. So I'm going to take care of my constant, which is negative 7. So I'm going to do its inverse, which is positive, or add 7 to both sides. Negative 7 and positive 7, I would end up at 0 on my number line, so I'm going to cross those out. I have s left on this side. 13 plus 7 is 20. So 20 equals s. You can have variables on either side. You don't always have to isolate the variable on the left side. It can be on the right side or the left side of the equal sign. All right, we're going to check our answer. So I'm just going to rewrite it. 13 equals negative 7 plus 20. And negative 7 plus 20 is positive 13. 13 does equal 13. So our answer is correct. All right, 10m equals 50. So 10m means 10 times n, or m, okay? So that's multiplication. So my opposite, or my inverse, is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1, so I'm left with m. 50 divided by 10 is 5. So m equals 5. Okay, let's check the solution. All I'm going to do is substitute 5 in for that m, so 10 times 5. 10 times 5 is 50. 50 equals 50. So my solution is correct. All right, W seconds equals 12. So this fraction bar really means division. So the opposite of a division is multiplication. So I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite division, which is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply each side by 2, or 2 over 1, okay? So whatever I do the one side, I do the other. So over here, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I'm left with W. And 12 times 2 is 24. So let's check our answer. I'm going to substitute 24 for W. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 12 does equal 12. All right, go back to the note side, and now we're going to do two-step equations. So really it's one step, and we're adding a step, so we're doing the two-step, okay? To get variable by itself, you must first get the term that has the variable alone on the side of the equation. Get rid of the constant on the variable side by doing the inverse or the opposite operations to both sides of the equation. Then refer to the one-step equation steps above. So we're doing a one step, but we're adding to it. All right, move over to the right. We're going to do the same thing we did before with one step. We're going to draw a line down our equal sign. Now you'll see here we have a 2x. So we have a coefficient and our variable, okay? So I want to go ahead. Remember, I want to keep my variable and get it by itself. Keep it, it wants to be alone, okay? So I want to keep this 2x here. I'm going to do the same thing like I did in the one step. I'm going to go ahead. I have a positive 4 here. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So, positive 4 and a negative 4, 0. So now I have left is 2x. 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay, now I can't stop now because I still have a coefficient and a variable. Okay, I'm not done. So 2x really means 2 times x. So the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2.